I love the color.
Thanks. It felt very good placey.
Well, it's like, I don't know that a real love story ever has an end game. I feel like, ending at the moment where, there's the marriage and the cans behind the car and that's it, is like, that's where the story starts. And so, like, I don't know. It's like I have a really hard time, like, dealing with that concept as a completion,
I couldn't agree more. I think a love story really is a commitment from both people to grow and blossom together. And once that commitment is made, it begins. And the great example Mike's given is that you don't find your perfect person. You become either the perfect person that someone wants to find, or you find someone, you make a ton of mistakes and you grow together, and that is the love story.
Well, I mean, I think that, I won't really go, obviously, into anything in this season, but I will say that, I feel like we've seen Chidi sort of become somewhat less rigid, and I think that's really due almost in its entirety to his relationship with Eleanor. And
what I've loved about Eleanor is that she started out feeling like everyone was against her. Something had happened to her. Life had been unjust, and it had, but it was as if inside her body she was like captured in this really tight net, like a dolphin in a net. And then throughout the 4 years she knew these people that made her grow and challenged her, she realized she had a pair of scissors in her pocket the whole time. And then she wasn't waiting for someone to cut her out of the net. She had it, all the answers. And it's not a key to a cage she can open. It is a series of tiny snips, and that is how your heart stops hurting and your soul feels better and you feel confident about who you are. And by the end of this show, where we are right now even, I like that Eleanor likes herself. I like that Eleanor started out hating everybody else, held a mirror up, and said, oh, I could be the one to change. Maybe I'm the common denominator. That to me is an incredible life lesson that I will teach my kids. It's like tough love. No, maybe you're the common denominator. Take a minute just to consider it. Eleanor considered it, she grew, and that's one of the most beautiful things I've been able to be a part of as a performer is showing someone shed that skin and begin to like herself again.
I don't think there'll be any more Centaur Tahani. That was really fun and weird to play and watch. There's definitely a lot of sci-fi in this season and a lot of graphics, but there's also mostly a lot of real writing and real heart. There are a lot of lines this season, and we are telling an unbelievable story. So I think that's something you can expect, is that if you thought every other season moved fast episode to episode, you are not going to know what's going to hit you. We package a lot in because everyone knew beforehand, which is very rare, that a team knows that their season is going to finish. This is going to be their final season before it's even been written. And so the writers kind of took all of their ideas and just packed it in with all of the love in the world. I don't cry because I'm English. We don't do that. So it's just not who we are. Okay. This is a show that he made that broke all of the rules. It broke diversity rules, it broke moral philosophy rules, it broke network rules as to what works on network TV. And so he's changed television with this show. He genuinely has. No one would have seen this coming, that it would be successful on this scale. And so this has been an amazing success, and now I think there's going to be more diversity, a lack of stereotyping, more female parity when it comes to what happens on a set, and we're going to push the boundary for intelligent content for network TV because the American public aren't stupid.
On that note, so your character, as well as you as a woman, really speaks her mind constantly.
I have no idea what you mean.
And I mean, no, in the most amazing way possible. You use your voice for good. Is that something that has always been a part of you, or has your character kind of pushed you to do that more?
No, my character just meant I was on a big TV show that my voice got amplified on. There's footage of me being an activist back when I was 19, talking on the news about the way we talk about women's bodies, and so I've been doing this for a long time, but this show and this character elevated me to a place where people finally listened to me. We only listened to privileged people. When I was marginalized and poor and anonymous, and I was saying the same things I'm saying now, no one listened to me. But people listen to me now with privilege, and I understand that sometimes people think I'm too privileged to speak out, but if I don't, who will? Because we don't listen to the people that we should be listening to. I wish she would find some sex and love. I would love for Tani to find real love, but I would like her to make peace with her parents. I would like all of us to make peace with our goddamn parents. I think that her storyline says so much that we miss about the impact your parents have on you for the rest of your life and the way it seeds in and out in all these different ways. And I think it's something to really pay attention to. It's a really important conversation. And I'm really glad it happened in such a stupid way with so many amazing name drops.
I believe Mike brought it up to me in season 2. It was season 2, I think he sort of started figuring out that's when it was. And I tried to talk him out of that very quickly. And then as he explained the story that he had in his mind, I went, oh, it is the right decision. And you never want to overstay your welcome. And this show has always been a somewhat serialized show. And we really think of it as a beginning, middle, and end. And I think when people see the finale, they will understand why this show needed to end right now. So there's nothing that we all regret that we had to cut. It just feels like, oh no, it's the right amount in there. If we put everything in, it would probably start to get tedious. So, when I read the finale, I thought this is the perfect way to end the show. At its core, the show is about the journey to try to be a better person than you were yesterday. Just that's it. It's really very simple, and I think part of the philosophical questioning boils down to just that simple journey. If you're asking how do we be better and asking what does it all mean, you're trying to be better, and it doesn't have to be on a big global scale. It can just be simply how do I be a better person, and I think that has always guided the show. No, I think it's a very human thing, right? To ask the question, what do we think happens when we die? I feel like everybody on the planet. I'm going to go ahead and speak for everybody on the planet. And everybody on the planet has asked that question, what happens? And so it's really, to hear people come up and talk to us about it, it means a lot because it feels like we are asking questions that resonate with people. And I don't know that we ever claim that we know the answers. We just know how to make it silly and fun. Yeah.
And will we see more Derek this season?
I think I'm allowed to spoil that. You will definitely see more Derek.
So I have a specific question.
Yes.
Will you be meeting Blake Bortles in this last season, and will he end up in the good or bad place?
Oh my gosh. I can't spoil anything, but I mean, he's pretty close to us now since he moved to the LA Rams. So fingers crossed that he might be making a visit. You never know. Yeah. Oh man. Team Janet. They've been through such a journey for all 4 seasons. What can I tease? I want to say some sort of happily ever after, whatever that may be. I'm going to leave it at that. I can't spoil anything, but I know that there are 2 different parties. There's Team Janet and Team Tahani, but, I think Team Janet will prevail. I think Jason has the most, at least this is how I justify it, the most emotional intelligence. Like he can't necessarily express it with words, but he can feel other people's feelings. He has a deep-rooted sense of empathy and sympathy amongst this whole group of people, to a fault almost. Like he'll do anything for his friends, whether it be throwing Molotov cocktails or throwing dance parties or whatnot. But I think in regards to that, not a lot of people get to do that. Not a lot of people get to see the finish line for their characters. I can't spoil anything, but talking to Mike about how all our characters kind of finish in this whole adventure is pretty damn satisfying. And I'm super excited we're going to start filming it in a week from now. and it's going to be really sad but also exciting, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to try and hold back some tears. One of the backstories that I have running in my head is that Jason still thinks this is all like a game show or something, and these are all contestants, and that this is all like a game or competition that we all have to win, and the good place is like some sort of trophy or something. That was one of the iterations I had in my head of a backstory. But I think with Jason specifically, it's like whatever like Eleanor says or whatever Michael says, no matter how rude it is or wrong it is, Jason will always just agree. Like, you'll see instances where Michael will say something and everybody, each character in their close-up will be like, no, or like, no, that's not right. But Jason's just like, that's correct. He's always backing up his friends regardless of what they say.
The super question is a specific Janet one.
Oh, shit.
Go. Okay.
Shit,
So
that's her
both
answer.
of you answer it. Okay. It's your final season. What are both of you the most proud of that you've done on this show?
Not mess up.
Yeah.
Mess up the show.
Right.
I mean, Mike's writing is so good that every morning you really are hoping that you will live up to the words.
That's truly it. It's like we get delivered these scripts that are, in our opinion, perfect, and then you get on set, and the hope is just that you make them proud. What is that about? Some sort of weird...
And everybody's bringing their A game.
Yeah.
You know, and so you want to make sure you are
rise to that
part
level.
of the team.
Yeah, it rules.
Will we get a fight between bad Janet and good Janet?
Will we get a fight between?
Bad Janet and good Janet.
That's a great question. I don't know.
No, you'll get something way more interesting.
Ooh!
Awesome.